My husband and I have 6 children total and live in a 4-bedroomed house. We have 2 sons together, younger grammar school age. I have a son from a previous relationship, teen, and I have 3 stepchildren, 20 female, teen male and female. For most of the time that we lived in the house, we had 2 kids per room, with the youngest boys sharing, the older boys sharing, and the girls sharing. Things changed a couple of years ago. My oldest stepdaughter finished school and is attending university locally. The girls decided at this point that instead of sharing a bedroom at their dad's and sharing a bedroom at their mom's, they would each take one room as their permanent bedroom. So the teen girl lives with us full-time and the 20-year-old lives with her mum full-time. They both visit the other parent's house regularly. My teen stepson has his own bedroom at his mum's house, but still splits time between each parent's house, mostly 50-50. My son lives full-time with us as he doesn't have much of a relationship with his dad. My son and stepson don't get on that well and they can often be heard screaming at each other in their bedroom. Recently, I asked my stepson why he didn't live full-time with his mum so he and my son could have a similar arrangement as their sisters. This way, both of the boys would have their own rooms. He would obviously still visit as his oldest sister does, and we could figure something out like a futon instead of a bed in their room, so my son has more space when the stepson's not there. My stepson overreacted to my suggestion and is trying to make out like I'm kicking him out when really I'm just thinking of a better use of space. It's unfair that all the older kids but my son have their own rooms at one of their parents' houses. My son likes the idea and has brought it up to his stepbrother a few more times since I originally suggested it, and it's caused arguments between them. He is now considering it. My husband is angry with me for suggesting his son move permanently to his mum's. If this happens, he and his son would have a less close relationship. My husband favours his oldest son over our boys. He also thinks I'm making his son feel like he's being forced out. However, his daughters already doing the same thing gave me the idea because it worked out well for them, and they both seemed happier. I'm also not forcing this to happen, I was just suggesting it to him. It would be completely up to him. Is this a good plan or am I the idiot for bringing it up? Did he overreact though? Did he? Or did he act like a teen whose stepmother asked him to move out of his father's house after listening to him get verbally abused by her son for a few years? Lady, you aren't fooling anyone. You should go live with your parents with your kids so your husband has better use of your waste of space. You are the idiot and a step monster. OMG, a better use of space. OP, you are literally telling your stepson that he's a waste of space. How do you not see that? A conversation should have been had with your husband first about this and no further. Instead, you told your stepson he was a waste of space and should consider moving out, and also explained to your son how a move would benefit him and how much he deserves this. So now you've all ganged up on him. What a horrible situation you made for your stepson. Your husband must step in immediately if you haven't already profoundly apologized. Pretend for just 1 minute that your husband asked your son why he doesn't move to his biological father's house full-time. How would that make you feel? How would that make your son feel? You already forced his other 2 daughters out and don't even see it as bad because it goes with your my own nuclear family's nonsense. You are a walking embarrassment. Right. OP is trying to kick the stepson out. She and her son are making it to the point that the stepson will feel uncomfortable in his own house. This is why step-parents have such a hard time trying to build trust with their spouse's children. This is the fear most children have when their parents marry someone else. They fear being forced out and pushed to the side for the new spouse and their new kids. Let's not forget, my husband favours his oldest son over our boys. I wonder if he favours the oldest because OP favours her bio kids, and he's just trying to ensure his son doesn't feel excluded. OP, you are the idiot. You've done a stellar job of creating a hostile living environment for your stepson. Step-parents like you belong in a Disney movie, not as the good guy. My partner and I, we're both women, have lived together for about a year. Neither of us wants to get married. There are just bad family experiences there on both sides. We've always split expenses based on income. I make about twice what she makes before taxes, so we split everything 60-40. I get taxed a lot higher. A couple of months ago, her uncle, who didn't have kids, passed away and she unexpectedly got a few $100,000 in cash and stocks. She had no idea this was coming and had only met him a few times. We split rent and all household items by income and have been talking about upgrading our furniture, mainly buying a king-size bed and a new sectional. Before all this, I would have expected to keep the current split of me paying the majority. It's what we did for other common purchases. But since she just got this huge cash infusion, I suggested we consider that and at the very least make it 50-50. My partner got really mad about this and said I was an idiot trying to capitalize on her family's death and saying inheritance shouldn't ever be a factor. I wasn't asking for a percentage of her inheritance. I just thought it should be part of how we split things that benefit both of us. Was I being an idiot there? For clarity, she makes about $65,000 a year in base salary with some sporadic bonuses. My salary is a set $120,000. She inherited about $270,000 in cash and about $140,000 in stock. The expenses we have coming up that I was referring to will be $2,000 or $3,500, depending on how nice of a bed and sectional we get. You are the idiot. It's assets, not income. That's like calling a pile of cash in a savings account income. Also, if you make twice what she makes but only split costs 60-40 because of tax rates, I suspect you already showed some greed. You've been earning $120,000 and she's been earning $65,000, yet you weren't paying twice what she was. You've been able to save more and now she can catch up. Exactly. I wonder if they factored savings account contents and all assets before agreeing to split costs 60-40. Doubtful. The split was dependent on income, not assets. She's changing the rules to benefit herself. OP, even in a divorce after a long marriage, you wouldn't be entitled to your partner's inheritance. Stop counting other people's money. I disagree. OP's not the idiot. So if she inherited $10 million, OP'd still be the idiot for asking for a 50-50 split. Most bank accounts do a 3% return on saving accounts every year. I don't see why OP should pay more than 50%. I don't know why some people act like you're a monster. Why shouldn't she split the cost of the new furniture 50-50? Both of you are going to use it in your shared home. The only difference is that she has the cash that she just inherited, and you will have to earn the money to pay your share. You aren't asking for half the inheritance. It's completely reasonable if you've been paying a higher portion of the bills due to your income that she should at least cover half of the cost now that she has extra money. Honestly, I'd expect her to buy the furniture. When my partner and I bought our house, I had extra money, and guess what? I just bought most of the furnishings because why would I make him struggle to pay for half when I have the cash? People are so weird when it comes to money. My fiancé, 31 male and I, 30 female, were fortunate enough to land well-paying remote and flexible jobs so we could get a bigger house. We don't plan on any children and instead give all our love to our animals. We currently have 4 cats, 2 dogs and 3 horses, and in the future we want to be able to purchase a farm and get more animals. I absolutely love each of them and we make sure they get all the care and love they deserve since all the cats and dogs were rescued and some had issues dealing with humans. Horses are a part of my hobby and because her own children are not invited to our house and can't spend time with the animals. It got worse this week as Kate wanted to come and stay for a few days in our house with the kids and our partner and have a winter wonderland photo shoot with the animals, as we got a decent amount of snow here in the past few days. I've told her she's not allowed as her children are still very young and seem unable to treat the animals with the care and respect they deserve, especially since most of them are rescued. Kate didn't like my answer and blew up, calling me an idiot for comparing animals to children, making them more important, and not allowing her to visit. Am I the idiot? Edit for context. Kids are toddler and kindergarten age, and my fiancé is on my side here as he also cares about the animals deeply and has told his sister her kids need to learn how to behave around animals first and treat them with respect and care. He can also spend family time with them as we do different activities every few weeks. Not the idiot. Kate seems to have a bigger issue and I think it's called jealousy. She's mad because you won't let her use your very nice house as a getaway for her and the kids, and she'll just have to get over it. It's your home, not a vacation spot or petting zoo. She wants to use OP's home for a photo shoot. She probably sees the kids as props too. Look, people who call their pets their children make me want to roll my eyes so hard I can read my own mind. However, it's your absolute right to do so, and my opinion is 100% a me problem. Kate needs to come off her high horse and stop trying to use your home and kindness. She also sounds entitled. There's a certain type of person who gets mad at childless relatives for having nice things they don't need when those things could be used to help their own kids. They have so much and they don't have kids. They're selfish not to contribute more to my kids. They don't have kids to raise and they don't need it. They should be giving more to my kids. Kate needs to learn that the world does not revolve around her 2 children. My dad divorced my mom when my brother was 4. I was 3 and my sister was 1. He divorced my stepmother when my half-brother was 3 and my half-sister was 2. My dad is currently married to his 3rd wife and they have 1 son who's 6. My grandmother really likes my dad's current wife, but she has a weird sense of humour. Most people in our family do. Sunday, my grandmother said to my dad's wife that she liked her so much that when they got divorced, she would keep her and get rid of my dad. My dad's wife looked a little thrown by the comment and said she and my dad aren't getting divorced. I joked, "Of course not, you don't have a daughter." She stared at me and asked what I meant. I explained that my dad only divorces women when they have a daughter. That isn't the reason my parents divorced, it was just a joke about a coincidence. But she said it was a horrible thing to say about my sisters. My grandmother then joked that it was the opposite because it implied my dad wanted daughters and only stayed with the woman long enough to get one. So as long as she doesn't have another kid or only has sons, he'll stick around waiting for a girl. We both started laughing and my dad's wife stared at us silently and then got up and left the room. At this point, I wondered if I crossed the line. My grandmother said I was fine, that she's just a sensitive person and a little ribbing was good for her. Still, I do feel bad and wonder if I should apologise. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot, but LOL at the jokes. She married a man with 0 issues, leaving women with infants and starting again with someone else. It's going to be a joke at some point by the kiddos. After this little stunt, I hope you'll be okay with your dad looking for a 4th wife. Right? She married a man who had 5 kids and divorced their moms while the kids were toddlers twice. If you can't see the writing on that wall, maybe don't marry Nick Cannon for goodness sake. She is the mother of this man's 3rd set of children, so she's well aware of what his previous families looked like. She can't be mad at people for pointing out his pattern. You and your grandma are hilarious and probably got that woman on the path she needs when it happens to her. Honey, I think you made her paranoid now. Your jokes clearly showed that your dad has a track record of getting his wives pregnant and then leaving them. And maybe she's pregnant but hasn't announced it, and now she's shocked. This could account for her reaction, worried that she might have a girl. Maybe at least try to mend things with her. I, 52 male, have 2 kids, a son, 26, and a daughter, 19. When my son went to college, I thought college would open up opportunities, and he was supposed to major in computer science, but failed many classes and changed his major to something less lucrative. He went out of state and I now realise this was a poor investment. I didn't want to make the same mistakes with my daughter. She also wants to do computer science and last year she got into a foreign university in the UK, which she says is like Stanford over there, Cambridge. I didn't want the same thing to happen, so I told her I couldn't help her pay for that and to go to a local state university or community college and then transfer. She ended up not going and deferred her admission to see if this year she could get a loan, which I'm not for, but it's her life, or if she could get a scholarship for a better American college. She seemed a little annoyed at me since, effectively, her brother got more money, but that was before I knew better. I can afford the same for her, but it would be tighter now and I don't want the same thing to happen, especially if it would be for a foreign degree. I suspect the same could happen to her since her brother was typically the brighter one, while she just pushed herself in the last years of school. Am I the idiot here? You are the idiot. Gee, my female kid wants to go to one of the top universities in the world, but she's the dumb one, and since my male child couldn't hack it, clearly she won't either. Good luck maintaining that relationship. Good luck mansplaining is how I read it at first. His logic is definitely mansplaining and he won't maintain that relationship with his daughter. So sad when daddy's prize son disappoints him. I bet he's the only one who thinks his son is smarter than his daughter. No wonder the daughter wants to go across the ocean to get away from this guy. Yeah, this sounds nuts. A foreign degree? Let's talk about that because, incredibly, you seem not to know what Cambridge is. Cambridge University, UK, world ranking, number 2, just after MIT. You are punishing your daughter for what you view as your son's mistakes when you should be over the moon that she got into Cambridge. Give her at least as much as you gave your son, and while you're at it, maybe give her a cake saying, Congratulations. Everyone is talking about judging her based on his son's mistakes, and I don't see the mistake. So he changed his major to something he was better fit for. He's your child, not an investment. Celebrate his accomplishments. And she got into one of the best schools in the world. Yes, you are the idiot to both of your children. I audibly gasped at this story. This can't be real. I wholeheartedly hope his son lives far away and is happy with the decision he made. I really hope so. I almost feel like OP is just as much an idiot for this as the way he is treating his clearly very talented and bright daughter. I hope she gets in, moves away, and never looks back. She has an incredibly bright future ahead of her. Update. Genuinely thanks for calling me out and making me do more research on Cambridge. I think I understand better now. I knew about it, but maybe I underestimated it for being foreign. I'll definitely reconsider. She still has managed to defer her admission, and I will see what I can do to help. The visa application needs proof of funds, I think.